Welcome to Cars and Croissants in downtown Summit, New Jersey. I'm Liz Newell with Hometown TV. I have the privilege of driving in this Ferrari F430, but at the end of the show, it turns back into my SUV. So I'm with John Dine from Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. Tell me about your super hot car.
It's a 2011 Audi R8. It's a V10 with the 6-speed, so it's one of those real driver cars.
Oh, I'm sure. So when was the most fun you had driving it so far?
Well, I've only had it for a little over a year, even though it's a 2011, and it's only got 13,000 miles on it. But I drive it on the summer almost every weekend and every chance I get. So, you know, having fun. I just go to these car events where there's a lot of enthusiasts that talk about the same stuff, and we just really enjoy ourselves.
Enjoy your day.
Thank
Happy
you.
Father's Day
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate that.
enjoy the other cars.
Yeah, we're going to. Thank
And
you
I
very
can
much.
certainly enjoy yours.
Okay,
Keys,
thank
please.
you. No.
Hi, I'm here with Robert right now. Robert, tell us a little bit about your Cuda here.
This is a 1973 Plymouth Cuda. Came from Georgia, rust-free car, 340 4-speed car, all restored.
And you totally did it yourself?
No, actually, I bought it already half done.
Oh.
I did most of the work myself after that. Yeah.
Cudas have spanned many years. What do you like best about this?
Oh, the looks of it, the lines of the car, and it's really a great car. I got
How
a
many
bunch of
miles
them.
a year you put on this?
I would say about 2,500, maybe a year. Just a car shows. That's it.
Car shows?
Yeah, car shows strictly. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing it with us.
I
Really
appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
take
you.
care.
I'm with Michael.
Hello.
Hello. Tell me about this beautiful engine under here.
Well, this is a Dodge Hellcat Challenger. It is 707 horsepower from the factory.
707.
707. And
I'm like, what?
I like to call it my midlife crisis.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does your wife call it?
A really big car payment.
Okay. So what was the most fun you had driving this car so far?
Pretty much every time I take it out, it's kind of like intoxicating.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things where it's like a midlife drug. You know, you just want to just keep going out with it and just cruising around,
Yeah.
coming to things like this.
So I love the sound of engines. So can you do me a big favor and start it up?
I can.
All right. Now that's an engine.
Well, now I'm here with a special interest car. This is David, and he's got a Corvair Corsa. David, tell us a little bit about this car.
Well, it's a 65 Corvair Corsa, as you mentioned. It's pretty original. These were only made for 2 years, 65 and 66. 65 was the first year of the new body style. The early body style was a Ralph Nader unsafe in any speed car, theoretically, although the truth of the matter is there were many cars with the same issues.
Right.
But it sort of helped him make a name for himself.
Yes.
He was more about car safety in general.
Yeah.
He used the early Corvair as a specific. This car is not that car. This car is a completely different design. It's a rear engine, all aluminum. In this particular car, it's 140 horsepower, 4 carburetor, 4 on the floor. Great car, safe.
Now, you found this where?
In Minnesota, sight unseen, I bought it.
Good for you.
I tracked this car for about a year on various sites like Craigslist, eBay, back to Craigslist at very high prices. Then I found it at a consignment shop in Minnesota, called the guy up. I had a local Corvair enthusiast look at the car for me and say, here's what's wrong with it,
That's it.
here's what's right with it, and I shipped it.
And you did a few upgrades on it, specifically the wheels.
Yes, well, I did new brakes because the two most important things in an antique car is steering and stopping. If you can't go, that's one thing, but if you can't steer or stop, you're dead. So you don't want to do that. Yeah, I put these great wheels on them. They're from an Olds 442. Found them in Pennsylvania. Had to drive about 2.5 hours each way. Had them totally refurbed to match the car. I think they look great.
They give the car real presence.
Well, it makes the car a lot sportier looking, more aggressive looking, and it rides a lot better. The car originally came with 13-inch rims and
Yes.
and very fat tires, and 13-inch tires are not very good.
They don't do it.
So these are 15s. There was no mods to the suspension. They bolt right up, and what a difference in the handling and the ride. It's just great. Yeah.
Well, thank you very
You're
much
welcome.
for sharing it with us.
My pleasure.
Okay.
I'm with Mario from Woodland Park. Tell me about this sexy Lamborghini.
That's true.
Say it.
That's true.
You
It's
say
very
it for me,
sexy.
because I'm sure with your accent
It's very sexy. Nice Lamborghini. It's a lovely car. a lot of satisfaction. I don't know. I come from Porsche before, Porsche 911 Turbo, which was a great car.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit different. Maybe
How different?
maybe Italian, a Lamborghini. It's a Lamborghini.
There you go.
That's it.
It when you drove up, I'm like, oh my gosh, it is an eye stopper.
Yes, every time I drive around, the people look me left and right. I guess the car is beautiful, the color, the combination.
Yeah.
Turns out a lot of head. Young, old, kids, anybody.
How many horsepower?
600.
600. Unbelievable. So happy Father's Day. Do you let your son drive this?
Yes, of course.
Nice.
I share everything with my kids.
Do you have a daughter?
No, two sons.
All right. 'Cause I was going to say, I hope your daughter can get to drive it as well.
I don't know, but my two kids, my wife.
Does she drive it?
Yes, I let her drive to my wife
All
too.
right. Awesome. Enjoy your Father's Day.
Thank you very
It was
much.
a pleasure meeting you and seeing your absolutely fabulous car.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well, now we're here with George, and he's got this absolutely gorgeous blue Jaguar. George, tell us a little bit about this car.
Well, let's see. This is a 1968 E-Type, and I've had it for 46 years.
Have you really?
Yes, I have. Happy years, to say the least. And bought it from a guy on Queens Boulevard in New York City many years ago in 1971. And for me, it's a driver's car as opposed to a show car.
Sure, yeah.
So I've driven it extensively through the years. I've driven to California twice in it.
With this car?
With this car. Once I drove it to California in 58 hours and then back in 54 hours with a friend of mine.
Wow.
And that was a great ride. We didn't get much sleep, of course, but the ride was good.
Well, it's an absolutely gorgeous car. The color and everything presents itself so well.
Yes,
So-
it's good. It's a great color. You don't see many dark blue.
No, you don't.
Of this color.
They're mostly British racing
You see
green.
British racing green. You see red. You see
Yes.
yellow sometimes. But this color, for some reason, although it's a great color,
It is.
they don't seem to paint them in that color that much.
Navy blue is my favorite color. So,
Join the club.
well, thank you very much for sharing it with us.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. And
Nice
Happy
to-
Father's Day to
Nice
you.
to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So tell us about, especially this one. This is a beauty.
So here we have the brand new DB11. The car was introduced last year. This is what Aston Martin considers their second century plan, meaning that the design and a lot of the technology that's in this car is going to carry forth into our future models. This is the first vehicle in the Aston Martin lineup to have forced induction, meaning it has a twin turbocharged V12 engine. Previously, all our models were naturally aspirated, so this is basically the future. A lot of manufacturers are doing it, so we see it with brands like, Ferrari and McLaren. Makes the engine more efficient. You get great power and performance,
Gas mileage?
better fuel economy.
Okay.
So
That's all that really matters.
not that it matters with this car, but
No. Tell me about the color. The color struck me. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, the color's called Arden Green. It kind of harks back to some of the, Aston Martins are very popular, especially the older cars from the 50s and 60s in green. So this is a modern interpretation of that. So it's has a lot of metallic to it. Depending on the light hits it, you see a little more silver in it.
Right.
But it's a beautiful color. And then we have the silver roof arches. Yeah, the
Beautiful.
kind of contrast.
Very sexy car.
It's a Bond car. You could be a Bond girl.
I could be.
You could.
How can we make that happen?
Possibilities are endless.
All good. Once again, happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
And, it's going to be a nice tradition of us always interviewing our local Aston Martin dealership.
Yeah, and our dealership's under renovation right now. We are open for business, but in about 6 weeks, our dealership's going to double in size inside. And, we'll definitely have you out for the grand opening.
Great. And thank you for supporting Summit.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, now I'm here with Steve, and we've got this absolutely gorgeous Austin Healey here. Steve, tell us a little bit about this car.
This is a 1959 3000. It has a 3-liter, 6-cylinder inline engine, 4-speed transmission with overdrive. It was built in September 1959 and shipped to the United States in October of '59 to Jacksonville, Florida. I bought it about 8 years ago in New Hampshire. So it's been around. It has probably about 120,000 miles on it, but the engine, suspension, transmission has all been rebuilt. So I drive about 1,500 to 2,500 miles a year in it.
Did you have to do anything to it when you got it?
Well, they only came with 2 fuses originally, which can be a problem because one fuse was just for the horn, meaning if the other fuse blows, then you're out of luck.
Yep.
So I've added a lot of inline fuses and relays and changed it from a generator to an alternator to have better electrical output.
Have you had Austin Healey's prior to this one?
Yes, like many people, I've had one when I was in college, when I was much younger, and I had a Triumph, another British car. I've had an affinity for British sports cars for many years. So when I retired a number of years ago, I picked this up.
Well, the British, I think, started the trend in the United States.
They certainly did.
So,
they certainly did with the MGT series.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, very good. Thank you for sharing that with us,
well,
and
thank
happy
you.
Father's Day.
Thank you.
So I'm with Walter from Branchburg, New Jersey. I noticed your car when it was coming in, the roar of it. It's beautiful. Tell me about your 911.
It's a 2004 911 GT3. It has a ton of suspension work. I run probably 12 track event days a year with it, and I bought it so I could drive it on the track, and I drive it whenever I can on the street.
So where do you take it out on the track?
Mostly Watkins Glen.
Where's that?
It's in upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fastest you've taken it?
About a 165, 170.
Sweetness. So tell me, you have another 911 you were saying, right?
Yes, I have another 911. It's actually black just like this, but I show that one with the Porsche Club.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I missed winning the whole championship by 1 point last year.
You're kidding.
No.
Are you going back this year?
Yeah, I'm going back this year.
To win it all?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank
it is
you.
an absolutely stunning car.
Thank you.
And, one of these days you can take me out for a test drive.
No problem.
All right?
Anytime you want.
Cool. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm here with Ed, and we've got a specialty car here. He's going to tell us a little bit about it. Ed, tell us a little bit.
Yes, this is 1990 300ZX. I picked this car up from a friend of mine. It was sitting in his yard.
Really?
Collecting roaches and spiders and all of that. And I got it from him, and then I sold my other 300ZX.
Okay.
And then I started working on it and putting it back together. I bought this car back in 2003, I believe it was. And it's been with me ever since.
How long did it take you to get it back on the road?
Actually, it took me about a month, maybe 2 months at the most, while I gathered all the parts and got the parts painted and stuff like that.
Yep.
But mainly all the mechanical work and all that is done by me.
Very good.
Yeah, no one else touches the car.
All right.
So
you've had a lot of fun with it over the years, huh?
Oh, I love it. I love this car, yes. Drives great, handles well, and I guess the police love it a lot because I get a couple of tickets with that.
Well, thank you very much for sharing it with
Yes,
us.
sir.
Happy
Thank
Father's
you.
Day to you.
Thank you.
I'm with Paul from Bridgewater. Tell me about your Datsun 280.
Well, I'm the original owner of the car.
You're kidding.
Okay, original owner. I bought it. I was probably about 23 years old at the time, and it was my everyday car. I mean, I drove it through rain, snow, you name it. And for the first 3 or 4 years, this was, the only car I had.
Right.
And then I got married and had kids, and the car kind of sat to the side and didn't, I didn't drive it that often.
Right.
And then about 1992 or something, I started taking it to a couple of shows and then decided to kind of restore it a little bit. It was in good shape to begin with, but I figured let me restore it. I got the bug, and I completely restored the car. Took everything apart. It was a nut and bolt restoration, and it took me about 3 years to finish.
An original color. It's beautiful.
Original color. Okay, it's paint code 302. Leaf green, it's called. Kind of one of those colors where at the time people either loved it or hated it. But
it's gorgeous.
Thank you. And so I've had it all these years, and despite having kids and so forth, now that kids are grown up, and I get to drive it.
So how many miles did you put on it?
It's about 115,000 miles on it right now.
Not bad for 1976.
Not bad, but I mean most of those miles were put on in the first few years. I mean,
I love it.
Yeah, I was doing 80 miles a day back and forth to work in it. Okay, so it was.
What drew me to the car was my brother used to have a Datsun, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen one in years. So it is absolutely beautiful.
Well, thank you. It was funny today. My son, we had company last night, and my son came over, and I told him we're going to this, and he was telling the people, oh yeah, my dad's going someplace. I think it's called Datsuns in Danish or something. Satsons in
Close
Danish. Yeah. So I thought it was kind of funny.
In honor of you for Father's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and enjoy your car for many more years, as you already have.
Thank you very much.
This is a Tesla Roadster. So it was Tesla's first electric vehicle. It was kind of, if you like, their Kickstarter project to prove that electric vehicles could be a bit more fun than...
Kind of a project car?
Absolutely. Definitely a bit of a science experiment, but it one that, launched the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, it worked out very well for him. So
It did go well. It did go well. Yeah, the original founders of the company and Elon Musk have turned it into an amazing American success story.
Now, you were telling me you were president of
Plug-in America. Yes, yeah. So that's a nationwide electric vehicle advocacy group based out of Los Angeles. If you ever watched the movie Who Killed the Electric Car, that featured a lot of the guys from who were the early founders of Plug-in America, who kind of stood up to what was happening in California in the early part of the century, where electric vehicles were being recalled.
And your website is?
pluginamerica.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll look for you on there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm with Jim from Mendham, and tell us about this beautiful Ferrari.
Well, this is a 1966 called a 275 GTB. It has about 30,000 miles on it. I've owned the car only for about 3 years. I traded another car, sold it actually, and had to take this to partial trade, and by just good luck, I was able to find this car.
So where did you find it?
I found it through a local individual over in Clifton, New Jersey.
You're kidding.
I'm serious. Meanwhile, I'm looking all over the world, and then I happened to see this tiny little advertisement in this obscure magazine, and I thought, I can't believe this. This is going to be a piece of junk. But I called him on the phone, went over to see him, looked through the car, and I simply couldn't believe it. It was in perfect condition. It was beautiful.
Did they drive it? They just had it?
Nah, he had it for a while. He had it restored, did a beautiful restoration. It came out of a barn up in New England. It was in, I thought, nice condition when it came out of the barn, but it wasn't good enough for him, so he restored the whole car. It's absolutely original condition in that exact color, exact interior. The engine's original, so everything is as new and totally drivable at this stage of the game.
So do you drive it every day? Like, what's your fun? How do you do it?
Well, first I look at the sky and say, is the sun out there, is it raining? And then I say, okay, that's step number one. Number two, how do I feel?
Okay.
And then if I feel like it, out it goes.
Well,
I try to take it out every week if I can.
Well, thank you for joining us on this kind of like foggy, cloudy day. So thank you so much for sharing it.
No,
it's
a pleasure.
gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. How many horsepower?
About 300.
300. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a very small engine.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, it's a tiny. It's about 3 liters. That's like under 200 cubic inches. Okay. So think of a very small American car.
So what's your favorite memory so far about driving this car?
I don't have a favorite memory about driving. I have a favorite memory about the car. Was putting the gas pedal down and the gas didn't come back again. It stuck.
Oh.
So I just got in and had to change that all around.
Okay.
You don't want that to happen too many times.
Probably not.
It's very, very embarrassing.
Well, thank you for sharing, and enjoy your car in good health. And happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much.
All right, this is Sean. How you doing, Sean?
Good. How you doing, Bob?
Good.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about this Jeep.
Well, this is an SRTA 2008 model, WK1. They come out as 6.1 liter Hemi and 380 horsepower on the wheels. Stock motor is pretty powerful. However, I upgraded quite a bit.
I see.
So,
Tell us a little bit about that.
We started with head cam headers, and that wasn't enough for the tracks for me. I wanted to go faster, so we started building and thinking about how we built this. We started with a 426 motor from Arrington Motors. It's a 9-to-1 compression ratio, and we said let's add a blower, and we have an 88 Pro Mod Batmobile Bullseye Turbo.
Okay.
It pushes out 1,046 horsepower on the wheels with 20 pounds of boost in race gas.
And how about the torque?
The torque is around 980, and I have 150 shot of nitrous to get it off the dig. So it's a 9-second truck. It's pretty quick.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and there's different settings, so I can drive it on the street. I have a 93 tune with 10 pounds of boost, 16 pounds of boost. It's completely drivable.
It sounds awesome.
Thank you.
Just
Really appreciate it.
Really
Thank you,
a
really
great-looking
appreciate it.
car. Now, is it a driver, a daily driver?
It's not a daily driver. I have another SRT8 because I had so many parts laying around.
Sure.
I bought something else. But it is definitely drivable if you want to. The best part of having a turbo car, you don't have to boost it all the time.
Sure.
So you can definitely be on the engine. But it's quite hefty with the
Yeah,
noise and everything.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much
Thank
for
you so
sharing
much.
with us.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
All
take
right,
care.
Take care.
So I'm here with Phil from Chatham, New Jersey, with this beautiful Stingray 1965 Corvette. Tell us about your car.
Well, I've only had it for a few months, actually. I bought it from a dealer in Ohio. And, when you buy a car like this, vintage car, a lot of times you're looking nationally because it's not like everyone down the street has 2 or 3 of these cars,
Yeah.
So I looked for a long time and finally found the right combination of features that I wanted for myself, and some of the things that make these cars crazy valuable, like big block engines and things like that, I didn't really care so much about. I was looking for really originality and really good condition, so I can just take it out on Sunday and wax it and have fun. So
Beautiful. So how many miles are in it?
it's got only 54,000 miles originally. So
You're kidding.
Yeah, it hasn't gone too far. I think since 1983, it's only gone about 15,000 miles. I think it's been a trophy car for some guys during that period.
No, and the combination. What color is this?
It's called Milano Maroon, and it's got a white interior, and the top is white as well.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a nice Father's Day present to yourself.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, why not?
Might as well.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. So what's your favorite memory about driving it so far? Since you've only had it for a few months.
I think it's just fun. Like on last Sunday afternoon, I was in Bridgewater, and I went to a BMW show that was over there, and just driving home from Bridgewater back to Chatham on back roads and sunny and just really nice. It's like a time's gone by. You hear the car purring in the background. It's fun. So
Perfect. It's a great car to go to a drive-in.
Yeah.
Right.
Where are the drive-ins?
Well, you'll find one in this car.
I guess, yeah. Wherever you go.
Wherever you go,
Yeah.
you can have your own drive-in.
Right.
Thank you so much for sharing.
My pleasure.
And happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
I'm here with Jeff Tischler, and he's got this absolutely gorgeous red Corvette. Jeff, tell us a little bit about this car.
Well, I bought this car new in 2003. I use it as a work truck. I drive it constantly. This car here has 155,000 miles on it. It has some engine modifications, suspension modifications, and it still is my daily driver.
You would never know that. How do you keep it that clean?
I'm not really that much of a fanatic about it. I'm just careful where I park, and I don't drive it when the weather's too bad.
What modifications did you make?
Well, there are various engine modifications, headers, intake, it's got a computer modification, some other various smaller things, but they all add up to excellent performance.
Wow.
And yet, as fast as this car is, I still got 30 miles to go on the highway.
That's outstanding. And this is 2003.
3.
Guess the oldies are the goodies, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, this car is unbelievable. I never have to do anything to it. Yeah. The main thing I do to this car is clean it.
Well, it shows. It really shows. So, well, thanks for sharing it with us.
Sure.
Thank you very
It's
much.
nice seeing you.
I'm with Gil from New Vernon. Tell us about the 1911 Stanley Steemer.
That's right. This car was built when there was still some question as to whether automobiles were going to be run by electricity or gasoline engines or steam. By the time this was built, steam was dying out, but this is one of the few that's left. You make it go by setting a great big fire and boiling water and getting the steam up to a bit over 500 pounds of pressure. And then I have this valve that
Oh my goodness.
I run steam from the boiler to the engine and back.
Right.
And away we go. It has no transmission. It has no neutral. It doesn't idle.
Oh my God. Awesome. So when did you acquire it?
I've had this about 10 years. There was a fellow up in Canada who drove it for about 30 years, and
Yeah.
he died, and I bought it from his son.
Oh my goodness. It is beautiful. So obviously garage kept. Have you done
Yeah.
anything to tinker with it, or you just...
It takes a lot of tinkering. I have a new boiler in it. I have a new fuel pressure regulator. I just got a new realigned oil pump. there's always something going on with these things.
Yeah.
If I want to drive it and it's cold, I just pushed the car out of the garage this morning and started lighting my fires, and it took about 35 minutes to get ready to run, because you have to get everything hot.
Right.
And then you have to have it hot long enough to boil the water.
Oh, cool. Now tell me about the lights. Those are pretty cool.
The side lamps and the tail lamp have wicks. They're regular oil lamps. Can't do it. I don't have steam pressure to blow the steam whistle.
Oh,
when I'm leaving, come back, I'll have 500 pounds, and we can blow the windows out of the buildings.
Oh,
the headlamps are acetylene, the same stuff that welders use to weld.
Okay. Very cool.
But I don't have them hooked up. Where am I going at night?
Right, true. Very true. Hey, listen, between the steam, the horse and buggy, who knew? Who knew?
Originally, there wasn't a wire in the car.
Oh, my goodness. Beautiful. You've maintained it beautifully. And it was a pleasure, Gil.
My pleasure.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much.
All right. We're with Summit's Finest. Hello, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
You know, we want to thank you for all the great things you do for our town and just always showing up and being part of our community. We just really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
So tell me about you.
Officer John Brunetto, Summit Police Department.
How long have you been?
5 years.
5 years?
I'm in patrol, yes.
Very cool.
Day shift.
Day shift, all right.
Mike Triber. I'm a sergeant in the Detective Bureau.
Okay.
18 years.
18
Yeah.
years.
Long time.
It's a long time. Oh, my goodness.
Leland Griffin, but everybody calls me Griff. Been here 13 years.
13 years?
13. It goes fast. I work nights. I'm a night guy.
Oh, with Sean over
I work, yeah, with Sean over there.
All right, cool.
I work 8 at night to 7 in the morning. So while everybody's sleeping, I'm keeping Summit safe for you guys.
You're on our way home, you know.
Where's Rabaska today? He's among the missing.
Right, yeah. He's home for Father's Day.
Oh, right.
Father's Day.
Exactly.
His
So
kids are celebrating that.
wonderful. So again, thank you for all you do. You know, we feel so much safer here in town, and you know, hope you're enjoying your Father's Day and Cars and Croissants.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
All right, be good.
Hi, I'm here now with Lake Underwood II. Lake, tell us a little bit about your Porsche.
This is my father's race car that I bought back in 1999. We had it completely restored, and we've been showing it pretty much up and down the East Coast lately.
How much do you drive it?
Quite a bit. We've put 10,000 miles on it in the last couple of years.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's what they were made for.
Yes, they were exactly made for that. Instead of sitting as a trailer queen.
Is this your favorite car?
Yes.
How many others do you have?
Undisclosed. No, this is my favorite driving car. I do have another car that I will be back on the road soon that I'll probably drive more than this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is the one I enjoy the most. You know, it has a lot of family history. It's won a lot of races.
Great.
And as the Newell family's followed me around, and we followed them around to all these different events, and we're sorry we weren't here last year.
By the way, it would be nice to have keys to this car as well.
Okay.
Spinderella.
Spinderella.
Liz, maybe you can get a ride in the car.
Maybe. I
yes.
would like to drive the car.
Well, I let your brother drive it.
All right, cool.
I've let both brothers drive it.
All right.
Yeah. So we need to let the sister drive it.
Right?
Yeah.
Only fair.
Yeah, but thank you for having us here in Summit once again. It's a great turnout every year. We appreciate everything that the town does for us and allow us to have this event on Father's Day. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing it with us. Well, folks, hope you enjoyed our show. Another year gone, huh, Liz?
And turned out to be a gorgeous day.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
from fog and mist.
to a little hot and humid.
Yeah, and sunshine.
And you know what? What a beautiful day to see the cars.
Oh, yeah.
We had one from 1911. We had a few from 1935.
And 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
You know, what a beautiful array of cars.
And a lot of smiling people.
Yes. So
And
happy
that's-
Father's Day
yep.
to you guys.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again next year.
Take care.